Hello, I'm Bayero Agabi. As we face the new society driven by data and information, Cyber Africa provides you a trusted platform. Here we understand how telecoms, the internet and the media are redefining our world.
Hello, Africa. Hello, Africa. Tell me how you do, Africa.
Cyber Africa, connecting Africa.
Hello and thanks for joining us on Cyber Africa Report on Kakaki, the African Voice, and I am Bayero Agabi. As you may know, Cyber Africa is designed to x-ray issues and development trending on the cyberspace through the smart use of technology.
Africa's universities are not preparing graduates for the 21st century workplace across Africa. Students arrive on campuses full of hope that a university degree would improve their lives. The reality is far less certain. In 2014, a British Council study estimated Nigeria's graduate unemployment at 23.1%. In Kenya, it takes an average of 5 years for a graduate to find a job. Yet, business leaders frequently say there are jobs, just a lack of skilled talent to do them. How can this be? There are two commonly cited explanations. The first is financial. Human capital and infrastructure constraints have a negative impact on the range and quality of skills students graduate with. The second is the disconnection between what universities teach and the skills needed in the market.
There are numerous factors responsible for that. One is the decline of funding by the government. So when funding is not there, the teachers are not, going for the training. Teachers are not paid well, and you don't expect the hungry man to come and teach very well. As a country, we have been focusing on building strong individuals and not strong institutions. And education is one of those institutions that should be built, because when you build, it has to do with human capacity. And that's one of the reasons some of our people are not even employable. So funding is one of the issues.
However, another fundamental explanation has to do with how students are educated, irrespective of what they study or the resource constraints they face. How students learn matters to employers because it shapes how they think and what they do at work. A growing number of employers are no longer looking for graduates with the most impressive degree certificates. In fact, some companies have removed degree classification from their entry requirements because they do not believe that academic success is always a sign of professional success.
Lay emphasis on knowledge. What you know is the difference. It is not your certificate. Certificate is nothing. Youths have bundles of ideas and energies. What youths may be missing is the channel to express themselves. Okay? And I strongly believe that youths are the ones that can transform this nation. My generation is finished.
As a student, please shut up and stop giving the excuses. When you keep giving those excuses, you're limiting your own future. And this is my challenge to any student in Nigeria today. With the internet and with access to opportunities, there is no reason in the world why you should graduate with just a CV and not with skills that will make everybody beg you to come and work with them.
Employers are now looking for graduates who can think for themselves, integrate into fast-paced work environments, learn new ways of working, and develop creative solutions to real problems. These abilities depend more on how they were taught than what they learned.
If you spend 10,000 hours doing anything, you become an expert at it. And I calculated, apart from lectures and a social life, and if I want to go to fellowship as a Christian, how many hours do I have if I do a 4-year course on campus? How many extra hours do I have? 10,000. Actually, almost 10,000, 9,900 and something. It means that in 4 years, you can become an expert. Alongside the curriculum in school, even if you say your lecturers are not teaching you the accurate thing, you can use those 4 years.
Universities need to rethink their approach to learning if they are to produce people with the critical thinking, leadership, collaboration, and problem-solving skills needed for modern life. Some stakeholders in the ICT industry also have this to say.
Many of our students are very bright. When you impart knowledge to them, they grasp the principles. They can retain what they learn. But it's a different kettle of fish completely when it comes to doing. And there is the need for us to look at the educational sector and not just place emphasis on knowledge, but on the ability to do, experience, and skill.
A lot of students who graduated with first class knew how to memorize. And once they bought the thing out, that's the end of it. They cannot use it to do anything. But when we start training our children, the act of doing, right from youth, and they begin to imbibe this culture, it's going to be a lot easier for them by the time they get to the secondary school, they get to the university. And I read a report recently. I'm sure my fellow college of fellow members, maybe they are not tired of me. I send them posting every week, twice, on the things that are going on in the world with respect to IT. I just did a posting, I think yesterday night. Because we need to begin to see exactly what is going on in the rest of the world.
Students must be able to reflect on what they are learning. Reflection helps students assess what they know and what they don't. It also helps them to integrate new ideas and concepts into their body of knowledge. When students reflect, they strengthen their neural pathways in their brain and build new pathways that link information that was previously not associated. These links enable critical thinking. True learning happens when students stop being passive recipients of information and become active experimenters. When students take an active part, they take responsibility for the results and ensure that learning is relevant to them. They develop habits that help them in life, such as self-regulation, motivation, and curiosity.
That's it on Cyber Africa this week. Join us again for another beautiful report on Cyber Africa on Kakaki the African Voice. And I am Bayero Agabi. Handing you back now to Kakaki Studio in Abuja. Thanks for watching.
Hello, I'm Bayero Agabi. As we face the new society driven by data and information, Cyber Africa provides you a trusted platform. Here we understand how telecoms, the internet and the media are redefining our world.
Well, hello, Africa. Hello, Africa. Tell me how you do, Africa.
Cyber Africa, connecting Africa.